Hi, welcome to another Photoshop beginner tutorial of selections. I'm probably not going to go over all the selection techniques, but I'll go over some. Let's start with this blue rectangle, which is on its own layer. Some ways of selecting it. We can come to the layer and let's do panel options and let's make it large. Click OK and let's pull it out. If we control click on that layer, it will select all the pixels and not the transparency. So you can see it's now selected. So also we've got the Magic Wand tool, which you can set a tolerance, and I'm going to click on it and it will select it again. Now if we've got different shades of blue, we might want to set the tolerance higher. We've also got the quick selection tool and that selects it. And let's go on to our next object, which I think is this one. And we've got some selection tools here. Now they're not so much selection, more as drawing tools. So add to this, we'll press shift and that will add to it. And if we want to take away from it, we do alt and we get a minus sign and we can minus away from it. So that's how we can create some pretty nifty shapes. And if we want to intersect, we can do something like that and it will intersect. This also, lasso tool, let's get rid of that selection, lets you draw freehand a selection. Now we're not actually selecting nothing, but I want to show you these anyway. Control D. We've also got polygonal lasso tool, where it draws straight lines. And if you press down alt, it turns into freehand, not straight. Let Control D. And we've also got magnetic lasso tool, so let's draw that blue box again. And with the magnetic lasso tool, we can set a contrast and a frequency. The frequency don't have to be so high. Let's try 10. And what we do is we draw along and it will the pixels, the contrast of the pixels, and knowing what you want to do. Let's get the Magic Wand, select it, and let's do select, modify, expand, and modify. If you come under modify tab, it lets you do things to your selection. So we're going to do expand 30 pixels. If we then do alt and click between the selection and the blue box, it will snap to that blue box. So that's a good trick to deselect that. And let's move on to our next one. Now we want to select this. So for this we're going to use our quick selection tool. So not our Magic Wand. Our Magic Wand tool, we click and it will select a block color or shades of color depending on our tolerance. Here we click and we drag, and don't worry if it goes out, because you'll find as long as you've selected it all and let go, it will snap to the edge of them pixels. Now of course we've got a transparent background, so it's pretty easy. So I can press Control J to put that on its own layer, press D to reset our default black and white colors, and press Alt Delete to fill the background with black. So you can see we quite easily selected that skull. So that's a few selection techniques. There is a lot more. Let me show you one more actually. Getting carried away now. Select layer, select color range, and if we click on the color that we want to select, you'll see it highlighted here. you can change the fuzziness, but it won't really matter because this is a block color of blue. Click OK and it's selected. If you say you now want to open up the layer styles, but the marching ants, say you want to have a stroke and you want it like 1 pixel, and the marching ants is getting in the way, you can do view, and there is selection edges. It gets rid of the marching ants for you, so that's something to remember. So let's get them back. They'll all be on the website photoshopbus.co.uk under tutorials, and you'll see Photo Junkies YouTube video tutorials and a subsection called beginner. So if you're a beginner, go and check them out. Thanks for watching.